bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-ba-dum. Hello, my friends. It's so nice to see everyone. Many of you are pretty early this evening. It's great to see you all. Good evening. Hello, everyone. My name is Joette Calabrese, and it's Monday night, and this is what we do every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We do the same thing every single Monday. I've been doing it for years. We do one thing and one thing only, and that is we share homeopathy. I teach you what I know. I'm willing to give you a certain amount of information. Some of it you have to find on your own, but much of it I give to you here. And I like you to share amongst yourselves as well. And so that's for people who don't know me. But for those who do know me, hi, friends. It's great to see you all. And I ask tonight, if you find that there's anything I give you that's of use tonight, or perhaps even from in the past, that you share this video tonight, that you comment, but especially share with someone else, because the larger the circle of people doing this, the better off we will all be. So good evening. Hi, Kim from Buffalo. Hello from Charleston, South Carolina, says Martine. And Phoenix is here. Oklahoma. Angela says, and hi, Bob and Deb Dunbar. Wonderful to see you. I see questions have already started coming in, and I'll try to go back to them and see what I can find and see what I can help you with. So I don't know, those of you who were here last week, you may have remembered that I have a new friend. And she's nervous. She's a very nervous little creature. You heard about what happened to all of the flocks. You know about that. And so she's an extremely nervous creature. And so, okay. So she comes in, she goes out, she comes in, she goes out. And I've been trying to convince her to come here and teach you a little bit about what her problem is. But as you can see, she's nervous. She's very shaky. She's very nervous. But I convinced her that if she could just, she's wearing a mask. So, she feels maybe a little safer, but then she still was nervous. So I thought maybe if we could just, maybe if I held her and we all explained to her that there's nothing to be worried about. And perhaps if she, maybe she should wear 2 masks. So yes, I don't know, maybe 3, maybe 4. So here she is. Her name is Influenza, but I call her Floozy for short. I'm going to move my scarf so you can see her a little bit better. Actually, her mask matches my scarf. That's just a coincidence, my friends, truly. She's got 2 masks on. She's got this white one on top of the blue one. And sometimes she gets so nervous that the mask kind of goes, she doesn't know what she's doing. And the mask goes completely over her. And she doesn't know what to do. She's kind of lost. She doesn't know where to go. She's lost her sense of sight and her sense of smell, of course. And she can't even figure out how to peck. So we're going to fix this for her. Come on, sweetie. Come on, we're going to fix this for you. We'll make it, maybe if we could just take the mask off and make it into like a babushka or something. That, don't you think? Doesn't she look better with She's got the same color lipstick that I wear. It's the same shade. It's the same shade, no doubt about it. So she's still a little nervous. But what I've been telling everyone is that this whole fear thing is a big part of the illness, is that there's more fear than there is, in my estimation, real disease. And that happens a lot. And so, as you know, last time I just said, look, just take some, let's see if we can find this, some aconitum, and I put it in her mouth like this, and oh, no, come on, get it in there. Come on, Floozy, come. So then so she's got the remedy in her mouth, and I think it could be very valuable. I mean, it gets a little uncomfortable at times, but with the aconitum, it keeps her from shaking as much, and it doesn't take much, and she starts to calm down a little bit. But the other day when I was demonstrating this to my son, when I went to pull it out, the cap came off. And then it got stuck in her mouth, and as I tried to pull it out, it got further and further into her throat, and then she had to, we had the... And she had to cough it out, and we were squeezing her throat all the way up. She does make a little sound too. So yeah, it doesn't sound much like a chicken, but or like a hen. But so now I think she's got the remedy. Now it is it's there now, so we can take it out. It's 1 dose. I don't know that she needs more than 1 dose. Okay. So things are better. And so I just want to tell you, want to remind you, because what I've said in the past I'm going to say again, it doesn't matter if there's a particular name to the kind of floozy that it is. We use the symptoms. And we know that at the onset of most floozies, we start with aconitum and bryonia. Now, I couldn't fit both aconitum and bryonia in at the same time. It just, it was a little difficult. But for a human, we could do that. It would fit more readily. So anyway, so here we are. She's joining us tonight because I think that she helps demonstrate and can help us demonstrate a lot of conditions. Yeah, she sees everyone. Yeah, she's looking. This is new for her because, she was traumatized. Her entire flock was destroyed. Okay, let's get down to business, my friends, shall we? Let's see. A lot of questions have come in already. Hello from Maryland. Hi, Tina. Hi, Jeanette from San Antonio, Texas, and Los Angeles and Kentucky and Ontario. Hello, Elizabeth in Michigan and Wisconsin and more Michigan, etc., etc. Okay, so let's start. I remember you saying, I hope it was you, that there is a remedy that helps chiropractic adjustments stay in place. And I can't remember what the remedy was. It was me. And this medicine can often keep you from having to go back to the chiropractor as often. So I hold chiropractors in high regard. Most of them are very good at what they do. I think they're really good to have on your team, as long as it's a good one and they are clinically experienced. We want someone who really knows what they're doing, okay? So a good chiropractor is worth his or her weight in gold. So I'm already seeing here it is. I'm already seeing answers. Marianne says, chiropractor here, Rhus tox is one option. I think it's a very good option. I think it's an excellent option. Rhus tox is the one that I use. And yes, it can help keep things aligned, keep them settled, keep them calmed down so that perhaps instead of seeing the chiropractor twice a week for an adjustment, you can go once a week or once every 2 weeks or maybe not for many months, which would be very nice in many ways, except for, of course, the chiropractor. Okay, so, we're on X, Facebook. We are on, I have to look at my notes, Rumble, YouTube. So I'm trying to look at all of the screens. So here's another question. What are your thoughts about using Rhus tox prophylactically while also treating acutely, like when someone has an allergic reaction at the beginning of the season? An allergic reaction, well, yeah, I think you can use it prophylactically. You don't want to overdo it. You might use it maybe once or twice. I think it's fine to use homeopathic medicines prophylactically when you already know what's forthcoming. If you're taking a guess that that's what's going to happen, don't do that. If it's something that the person suffers from every year, that poison ivy is horrible. I mean, really bad. Then by all means, now you're using a prophylactic for someone who is already in that state. So yes, I believe it can be. However, if you decide, I just give it to everybody. Anyone who happens to come around poison ivy might be profited by using Rhus tox, then I would say no. I don't believe that's an intelligent way to utilize homeopathy. All right, someone please bless me with something to feed my kids. They have gone without food from yesterday, and until now I have no hope of what to feed them, and I'm really begging. My Cash app is okay. So I'm sorry, we're not going to be doing that. I didn't realize that's what you were talking about. We are not going to be asking for donations here. I'm sorry. That's one of the rules that I follow here on this site. Mighty hello from Aurora. Hello from Montana. Okay. A friend reached out to me after suffering with the bug for 2 days, getting dehydrated and not eating normally. I told her arsenicum album 30, which she had. As soon as she started taking it, she started recovering and feeling better. Yay for homeopathy. You bet. I just took arsenicum album just today myself. Wasn't for that. For me, arsenicum album also helps with some kinds of allergy responses for me. And so sometimes I get itchy. And I've talked about this before. And I think there's a high pollen count going on right now in Florida. And so that's what I take, and it calms it right down. All right. Okay, cool. Funky chicken, Joette. How often do we need to take euphrasia for conjunctivitis? And should I also take Keep-Yourself or arsenicum as backup? I love this question. How often should I take a medicine? Think of it like this. Let's use something really broad. If someone was taking a drug, a synthetic drug of commerce, patented, synthetic, patented, toxic drug of commerce that is used specifically for, let's say, I don't know, high cholesterol. Generally, the way it's used, it's taken, is once a day. Sometimes it's twice daily. Generally speaking, that's usually for a chronic condition. They consider high cholesterol a chronic condition. We, of course, think about it much differently than that. But in conventional medicine, they would consider it a chronic condition, and the medicine would be used about once or twice a day. And that's a really great method of using, not the drug itself, but the method of, when it's a chronic condition, using it daily, sometimes twice daily. When it's an acute condition and the person is having, let's say, an allergic reaction, and the doctor says, take Benadryl. Now we're going to say also Benadryl is a synthetic, patented synthetic drug of commerce. The doctor would normally say, a conventional doctor would say, take it more frequently. Once or twice a day is probably not going to do it if the person is covered in urticaria, right? So you're going to use it more frequently. If it's a very severe case of urticaria, hives, now the Benadryl is used maybe every 15 minutes for an hour or so until it calms down, and then open it up to less frequently. So maybe every 3 hours, every 6 hours for an acute condition. So my friends, homeopathy is medicine. It's much loftier. It's far outpaces what we've just described. But it is, if you've ever been accustomed to taking a conventional, a patented synthetic drug of commerce for a chronic, you know generally how often one takes it. If it's for an acute, you have an idea of generally how often one takes it. I hate using this as a paradigm or as a comparison, but my friends, it's what we live in. It's the world in which we live. People are accustomed to taking these drugs of commerce. And so let me use that then as a basic pattern from which to draw your decision on how frequently to use a homeopathic medicine. And let me also say, the question was, should we use euphrasia for conjunctivitis, and also should I use Keep-Yourself or arsenicum album? I can't tell you what you should do, but I will tell you that if you read up on all three of those medicines in your Materia Medica, it will give you the information you need, and you want to compare them. It's called differentiating. You're going to differentiate between euphrasia and Keep-Yourself and arsenicum. How is it presenting is the question. Alrighty, let's see if we've got some more questions here. Hi, Donna from Delray Beach. Okay, here we go. Is influenza making an appearance tonight? Yes, she is. So I called her full name is Influenza, but then I called her Fluenza, and now I'm just calling her Floozy. Okay, I have a question. We match symptoms to the remedy, but why choose ammonium carbonicum 200 2D over sepia? Why do you consider ammonium carbonicum to be appropriate for the 20-year menopause remedy? Because it has been shown to be useful clinically. That's the reason why, my friends. When I give a medicine that, if you read carbonicum acid, if you read it fully, you will see that there are aspects of it that touch very deeply into the menopausal situation. It's just been shown clinically by whom? By the doctors Banerjee. Okay. Illness isn't an infection, it's an expulsion. Thank you, Leanne. It's actually, I consider this what people are suffering from, what chickens may or may not be suffering from, is reparative. When we get a cough, we're doing the right thing. It's intended to get it out. Just like Floozy had to get the cap out of her throat, she might have to get the phlegm out of her chest. So what we're doing is ridding ourselves of what the body is doing to repair. So that ridding ourselves could be diarrhea. We have to get rid of it. We don't stop diarrhea. We don't halt it. We instead finish it. Homeopathy finishes it in shorter order. If we don't have homeopathy, we simply spend our time in the bathroom and finish and clean out. Same thing with mucus. Same thing with a fever. It is a cleansing. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, Leanne says Staphylococcus aureus for abuse. Yeah, well, and for what she witnessed. She's pretty nervous. I mean, you can see she's very nervous. Her eyes are bulging out. She's very worried because she lived through a horrific situation where they killed her entire flock. Loss of hearing with age, and hearing aids are not as helpful as they were a few years ago. My friends, let me tell you about hearing loss. There are homeopathic medicines. I've actually written about it on my blog. But I also want to tell you, just go Joette Calabrese hearing, or maybe it's Joette Calabrese deafness. I'm not sure which word will pop up. But my friends, consider what is being eaten. What does the person love to eat? And maybe is a little suspicious, might not be the right thing for that person to eat. Look at what are the most trying foods, the foods that cause the most inflammation in most people, or not most, in many people, right? Grains in the U.S., not everywhere in the world, but here. Grains, wheat, right? For some, it could be dairy, right? Okay. Looks like she could be related to influenza. Oh, there's a donkey here too. Okay. All righty. Blocked ears. Let's see. Eye flashers. So flashing before the eyes. Sinus infections. We've got a lot of questions here. It's really great. I just discussed sinus infections recently. If you go back and just do Joette Calabrese sinus infections, you'll find some very good information. Eye flashers. I think what that means is, well, of course, it sounds like just what it is. Flashing before the eyes. First, let me say, my friends, when we are looking for health, I can tell you remedies for many conditions, but I want you to think what could be extrinsic that's coming in that's not good for me, or what am I not getting that needs to be from the outside coming in? Am I losing out on not enough sunshine? Should I be outside in the sunshine without sunscreen? No sunscreen, without sunscreen. Isn't it a good idea to be out in the sun? Now, if the person is prone to burning readily, then you just don't stay out as long. It's that simple. Because natural sunshine, whatever that emits, whether it's vitamin D, whether it's in nutrients we know nothing about yet, that is very important for the eyes. Also, I want you to think about how much time is spent in front of a computer. I want you to think about what is eaten, and probably even bigger than everything I've mentioned so far is what meds or vitamins, synthetic vitamins, are being taken in. Because if someone is taking in a medication, let me just say this. There are some great doctors out there, but don't ask your doctor if that drug that he or she prescribed for you is causing eye flashing or whatever else might be occurring. It's up to you to find that out. A doctor could never in a gazillion years know all the side effects for each drug that he or she prescribes. So it's up to you to go online and look it up. And you go online and you look up Does this drug, whatever the name of the drug, cause flashing in the eyes? Does this drug cause anxiety? Does this drug that I'm taking cause overactive mind? Does this drug cause insomnia? And that indeed may be all you need to do, is to question what you're putting in your mouth on a day-to-day basis. Okay, blocked ears. I've written about that on my blog. You can find it there. Shingles. Well, what you want to do with shingles, again, go to my blog. I want to give answers to questions that I've not ever touched on before, so that we can hit on as many ideas as possible. Remedy for vertigo when lying down and head turned to the left. That sounds to me, I'm not going to diagnose it, but it sounds like it needs a PT or a physical therapist or a chiropractor to adjust that. Okay, I use Sanguinaria 200 with Belladonna 30. This is replying to Tasneem. If pain is excessive, so you're helping each other. That's great. The Banerjee protocol of aconite and bryonia served me once again last Monday. I got very chilled experiencing the eclipse last Monday and then got fever and shakes. A few days later, I got a burning, itching rash on one half of my back, and then it was Rhus Tox and antimonium crude to the rescue. Very nice job, Alice. Good job. Could you please explain again why approving is rare with the practical homeopathy method? I thought you said the next dose will resolve the proving from prior doses. No, it's not approving that we're talking about. If you take a homeopathic medicine and it's not approving, it's an aggravation. It makes things a little bit worse before it gets better. Just before that happens, then take the next dose and it calms it down. That's an aggravation is different than approving. So I'm not saying that, I'm saying aggravations are rare, not provings. Now, provings can occur. And the way provings most often occur is if we choose the wrong medicine. And it's usually the wrong medicine is because we've chosen, we believe we have this condition and instead we really have that condition. So if we have this condition, or if we think it's this condition and we use this medicine that's associated with it and we repeat it, yes, it can cause a proving, when indeed it really was that medicine. Excuse me, it was that condition with the associated medicine. Excuse me. I hope I didn't confuse you. So we have to make sure that what we think is occurring is indeed occurring. Okay. All right, let's see. Suggestions for fainting from blood draw. Vasovagal syncope, yes, I'd love to avoid it from happening completely, but what can be taken if it's too late? I don't know. Let me just suggest this. What do you need blood draws for? You sure you want to do this? I mean, maybe there's a very valid reason, my friends, but don't overdo medical testing. Okay, just live your life. Now, if it has to be, if there's no other choice, and I mean really there's no other choice, then we can talk about something like that. So let's see if somebody can come up with some ideas for that. What is my, Monday Night Live about what is in my purse. You described nausea. How are you using nausea in winter of 2024? I've been using nausea, and it's my friend Leanne, who's here tonight, has informed many of us that she's been using, and I've been following her idea. I think it's an excellent idea. I've had very good results. I use nausea 1M for this, for what's going on now. But I always start, to be honest, my friends, I always start with aconitum 200 mixed with bryonia 30 or cold calm. And then we can consider nausea. That's the way I do it a little bit later on. Okay. Yes, I use your Materia Medica to look up cuprum. Anything to stop a brain bleed. I have a friend suffering, my friends. What do we do when someone has a bleed? Well, we're not going to ignore it, of course. We're going to make sure that they're getting medical attention. But meanwhile, homeopathic medicines could be used, couldn't they? Let's see what people come up with. The Banerjee protocol for aconite and bryonia saved me. Okay. Suggestions. Okay. Monday Night Live. Okay. I've read that. How to get rid of calcium deposits in the shoulders. I'm going to tell you that calcium deposits generally occur from having taken calcium pills, or drinking orange juice that has calcium in it, or eating foods that are high in calcium that don't have the corresponding natural fats, such as low-fat yogurt. You need to have the cream on top in order for the calcium to be utilized properly. So calcium deposits often come from having taken something with calcium, or not taken the substance that has calcium in it properly. But here's the real question: is how is it presenting? What are the symptoms? Are the calcium deposits making the shoulder click, or making it freeze, giving it pain? Is it shooting pain? That's where we go with homeopathy. Headaches. Headaches are a very big subject. Spring brings tension headaches. There are a lot of homeopathic medicines for headaches. I teach it pretty thoroughly in my course called Pain, Make It Go Away. The way you find that is you go to Joette's Learning Center.com without an apostrophe. It's Joette's Learning Center.com, and scroll down to pain. And I talk about headaches quite extensively. The thing with headaches is that, where is the headache? Is it in the sinuses? Is it in the temples? Is it throbbing? Is it burning? Is it pounding? Is it blinding? Does it cause nausea, etc.? So the headaches are a little more involved. Okay. In regards to cell salts, why not just take the combo to cover all the bases? There seems to be so much overlap. There is a lot of overlap, Tina. There is a lot of overlap because we all need all of those 12 cell salts. Why not take all of them? Because I'm not saying you should never do that. You could certainly take all 12, which is often called bioplasma. But if you can pinpoint what are the most noteworthy conditions, and what are the corresponding medicines with those, you'll probably have much better luck. Okay, helps with uterine prolapse. I tried sepia for quite a while, and now using arnica and I can't read this. Lilium tigrum. Okay, Lilium, got it. Those are all very good medicines. And so if the medicine doesn't act, if CP doesn't act, then we move on to the next one. And you're right on the mark with that. And I'm assuming that you've taken my course. From knowing that, you must have taken my course called Feminopathy. If you haven't, by all means, I urge you to consider it. Joette'sLearningCenter.com. Scroll down to Feminopathy. Okay. Would you know if belladonna is okay for heart patients? Reddit can cause heart racing. If you understand homeopathy, these medicines can cause the condition that in the homeopathic formula will relieve the condition. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to be careful that you understand how homeopathy works. So when you read in the Materia Medica that Rhus tox, which is really made from poison ivy, can cause pustules, it means that as a homeopathic medicine, it relieves pustules, okay? Can you do the 3-dose head injury protocol even if you are unsure if the issue happened during that time, but the remedy fits? I suppose you could. I would make sure that it truly fits on many, many levels. Can you do the 3-dose? Okay, my granddaughter is plagued with migraines. We have tried all boron kits. Your recommendation, she is still plagued. I tried arnica this last time after a long sleep. Seems to have helped some. Any help is appreciated. Again, migraines, granddaughter. I mean, is she in menarche? Is she... does this happen just before her menses, etc.? You have to look at a whole picture. It may indeed take an entire case taking arrangement for you to get to the bottom of that. Okay. Has anyone had success in shrinking uterine fibroids? The Banerjee protocol doesn't seem to be helping after several months. Are you sure about that? So what we're looking for, are we looking for a shrinking or are we looking for the symptoms to abate? First, we look for what is occurring in addition to. So in other words, if we're saying that they're not shrinking because there's been another sonogram and it showed up, look, it's still there. But how does it feel? And is there improvement in the sensation? Is there improvement during menses, etc.? And if there is even a small improvement over many months, okay? Then you've really observed what is going on. Now, after all the symptoms are abating, calming down. Now, if you're still convinced you need to go for a sonogram, now you go. Okay, let's see. We've only got a few more minutes. There's so many good questions. What would you recommend for excessive sweating? This person said they feel like they're walking in a puddle. They also have an extremely heavy period. I am not going to say that there's a specific medicine. There are medicines, though, and if you own a repertory, a homeopathic repertory, you're going to want to look that up and look under, in the clinical section, under perspiration. No, sorry, under the perspiration section. And you'll find excessive sweating that is associated also with heavy periods. Wow, lots and lots of questions. And we are getting past the time. I'm so sorry, ringworm. Okay, my friends, I can see that I'm not even getting halfway through the questions. So next week, let's carry on. Come back. We will carry on. We will go on through many more of these questions, and I'll see how I can help with my information and how others may help as well. And so Floozy says, good night. Good night to all. Good night. Good night. It's great to see you. We'll see you next week. Bye now.
How often to treat and when to stop and when to repeat. With our homeopathic protocols, you learn your remedies. Athuzanodary, it's elementary with arnica head, arsenicum fed, spigelia slither, orm sperm wither, no more infirm. My family needs of me, so I improve my memory. Not only the REMs, but how often to treat and when to stop and when to repeat. With your homeopathic protocols, learn your remedies. Bella so red and arnica head, drosera bark, ignatia dark, source of frigid and cuprum to rigid, and crude itches, calicum, bonicum, let it melt on your gumbo, vista weed are some great ways to treat ya. La 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 la, homeopathic protocols, learn your remedies.